5 simple daily habits that rewire your brain. What if I told you that 5 minutes of specific daily actions can literally reshape your brain's physical structure? And most people waste these critical neuroplastic windows on habits that wire them for anxiety, distraction, and mediocrity. Your brain isn't fixed. Every experience, thought, and action physically changes neural pathways through neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to reorganize itself. But here's what most people miss. Not all activities trigger equal neuroplastic responses. Certain behaviors create vastly more structural change than others. This isn't self-help platitude nonsense. This is hard science. Neuroscientists at Harvard Medical School, University College London, and the Karolinska Institute have documented exactly which daily habits create the most profound neural reorganization. They've identified specific practices that trigger brain-derived neurotrophic factor BDNF, essentially fertilizer for your neurons, strengthen synaptic connections, and even generate new brain cells in adults. Ancient contemplative traditions, from monastic routines to stoic daily practices, accidentally structured their days around these same neuroplasticity maximizing activities. They called them spiritual disciplines or daily practices. Modern neuroscience reveals they were performing targeted brain optimization protocols. Most people's daily habits wire their brains for stress, reactivity, and cognitive decline. Elite performers engineer daily routines that literally build better brains through accumulated neuroplastic adaptation. I'm about to expose 10 simple daily habits that create measurable structural brain changes. Each practice targets specific neural systems, from your hippocampus memory to your prefrontal cortex executive function to your default mode network self-referential thinking. Implement these, and you're not just changing behaviors, you're rewiring the organ that generates all your thoughts, emotions, and capabilities. Your brain is rebuilding itself daily. Time to control what it becomes. Part 1. The morning light exposure protocol. You wake up and immediately check your phone. This floods your brain with blue light and cortisol spiking information before your circadian system is properly activated. Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman's research proves that morning sunlight exposure within 30 to 60 minutes of waking triggers a cascade of neurochemical events: dopamine production, cortisol optimization, and circadian rhythm entrainment. Your brain literally sets its biochemical clock based on early light exposure. This is technique number 1 out of 10, the morning light exposure protocol. Within 30 minutes of waking, spend 10 minutes outdoors or near a bright window facing the sun. No sunglasses. Simply let natural light enter your eyes while you breathe slowly. Do this before checking any devices. Practice daily for 40 consecutive days, including cloudy days. Diffuse light still works. Closing parenthesis. Morning light exposure activates melanopsin-containing retinal ganglion cells that communicate directly with your suprachiasmatic nucleus, your brain's master clock. This optimization cascades through your entire day. Better focus, mood stability, and sleep quality. You're programming your brain's daily neurochemical rhythm through light. Studies show morning light exposure increases alertness by 60% and improves sleep quality that night. One simple habit optimizes 24-hour brain function. Start getting morning light exposure daily and watch mental clarity, energy, and sleep improve as your brain's circadian systems synchronize properly. Part 2. The bilateral brain activation exercise. You use your dominant hand for everything. This leaves one hemisphere of your brain significantly more developed than the other, creating neural imbalance. Neuroscientist Kelly Lambert's research demonstrates that bilateral activities tasks requiring both body sides simultaneously strengthen the corpus callosum, the connection between brain hemispheres, and enhance whole brain integration. Balanced hemispheric development improves creativity, problem solving, and emotional regulation. This is technique number 2 out of 10, the bilateral brain activation exercise. Spend 5 minutes daily performing cross-lateral movements. March in place, bringing opposite elbow to opposite knee. Draw figure eights in the air with both hands simultaneously, or juggle. Alternatively, brush your teeth, eat, or write with your non-dominant hand for 1 meal daily. Practice one bilateral activity daily for 60 consecutive days. Cross-lateral movement forces both brain hemispheres to communicate and coordinate. This strengthens interhemispheric connections and builds neural pathways that enhance cognitive flexibility. You're literally growing the bridge between your brains to processing centers. Musicians who play instruments requiring bilateral Coordination show enhanced corpus callosum development. The physical brain structure thickens with bilateral practice. Start practicing bilateral activities daily and watch cognitive flexibility improve as your brain's hemispheres integrate more effectively. Part 3. The gratitude neural rewiring practice. You focus on problems, threats, and what's wrong. Your brain evolved with negativity bias, noticing dangers more than benefits. This protective mechanism becomes pathological in modern life. Neuroscientist Alex Korb's research using fMRI shows that gratitude practice activates the ventromedial prefrontal cortex and enhances serotonin production. Regular gratitude literally rewires your brain's baseline toward positive pattern recognition. This is technique number 3 out of 10. The gratitude neural rewiring practice. Every evening before bed, write down 3 specific things you're grateful for from that day. They must be specific. My colleagues' helpful feedback, not vague. My job. Include why you're grateful and how it made you feel. Spend exactly 5 minutes on this. Write by hand in a dedicated notebook. Continue for 90 consecutive nights. Repeated gratitude practice strengthens neural pathways associated with positive emotion processing, while weakening automatic negative pattern detection. You're retraining your brain's attentional filters to notice positive elements as readily as negative ones. The specificity requirement forces conscious attention to positive experiences. Research shows 90 days of gratitude journaling creates lasting changes in brain activation patterns. The rewiring persists even after the practice stops. Start the evening gratitude practice and watch your emotional baseline shift toward positivity as your brain rewires its pattern recognition systems. Part 4. The microlearning neurogenesis trigger. You consume content passively, scrolling, watching, listening without active engagement. Passive consumption creates minimal neural change. Active learning triggers neurogenesis. Neuroscientist Gerd Kemperman's research proves that learning new information and skills activates hippocampal neurogenesis, the creation of new neurons. But the learning must involve challenge and novelty, not passive reception. This is technique number 4 out of 10. The microlearning neurogenesis trigger. Spend 15 minutes daily learning something genuinely new and challenging. Learn 5 words in a foreign language. Study 1 chess opening. Practice 1 new guitar chord transition. Master 1 drawing technique. The key is active practice with immediate application, not passive consumption. Rotate topics weekly. Continue for 12 consecutive weeks across different skill domains. Active learning, particularly when challenging, triggers BDNF release and neurogenesis in the hippocampus. New neurons integrate into existing networks, enhancing memory and cognitive flexibility. You're literally growing new brain cells daily through deliberate learning. Challenges. Studies on bilingual individuals show enhanced hippocampal volume. The act of learning process physically enlarges brain structures. Start daily microlearning sessions and watch memory and cognitive flexibility improve as your brain generates new neurons through challenge. Part 5. The breath control vagal toning. You breathe automatically without conscious intervention. This leaves your autonomic nervous system in default stress mode, with shallow chest breathing that activates sympathetic stress responses. Neuroscientist Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory explains that deliberate slow breathing activates the vagus nerve, shifting your autonomic nervous system toward parasympathetic rest and restoration dominance. Your breathing pattern directly controls your brain's stress state. This is technique number 5 out of 10. The breath control vagal toning. 3 times daily upon waking, midday, and before bed. Practice this breathing pattern for 5 minutes. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. Exhale through your mouth for 6 counts. Hold empty for 2 counts. The extended exhale is critical. Set phone reminders for consistent timing. Practice for 50 consecutive days. Extended exhales activate your vagus nerve, which signals your brain to reduce stress hormone production and shift into restorative mode. Regular practice strengthens vagal tone, your nervous system's ability to recover from stress. You're training your brain's stress response system to default to calm rather than anxiety. Heart rate variability studies show improved vagal tone correlates with better emotional regulation and stress resilience. Breath training creates measurable nervous system changes. Start the 3 times daily breath protocol and watch stress resilience improve as your brain's autonomic balance shifts toward parasympathetic dominance. Part 6. The social connection neurochemical boosts. You default to digital interaction Your brain's social bonding systems evolved for in-person connection. Screen-based interaction provides minimal neurochemical benefit compared to physical presence. Neuroscientist Matthew Lieberman's research shows that meaningful in-person social connection activates reward centers and triggers oxytocin release, a neurochemical that reduces stress, enhances trust, and supports neuroplasticity. Your brain needs physical social connection for optimal function. This is technique number 6 out of 10, the social connection neurochemical boost. Once daily for 15 minutes minimum. Engage in fully present in-person conversation with someone. No phones, no distractions. Make eye contact. Listen actively. Share authentically. If in-person isn't possible, use video with camera on. The key is mutual attention and authentic exchange. Practice daily for 45 consecutive days. In-person social connection activates mirror neuron systems and triggers neurochemical releases. That screen interaction doesn't match. Eye contact alone activates oxytocin production. You're feeding your brain the social nutrition it evolved to require. For optimal function, studies on loneliness show that lack of meaningful connection accelerates cognitive decline. Social connection is neurological nutrition, not optional luxury. Start prioritizing daily meaningful connection and watch mood, stability, and stress resilience improve through consistent social neurochemical activation. Part 7. The movement cognition integration. Exercise for physical health. Movement's most profound effects occur in your brain, not your body. Exercise is the most powerful neuroplasticity trigger available. Neuroscientist John Ratey's research documents that cardiovascular exercise increases BDNF production more than any other intervention, triggers hippocampal neurogenesis, enhances prefrontal cortex function, and improves mood through neurotransmitter optimization. Exercise is brain-building medicine. This is technique number 7 out of 10, the movement cognition integration. Every morning, complete 20 minutes of moderate intensity cardiovascular exercise, brisk walking, jogging, cycling, or swimming. Your heart rate should be elevated, but you should still be able to hold conversation. Make this absolutely non-negotiable before work, before screens. Practice daily for 80 consecutive days. Cardiovascular exercise floods your brain with BDNF, which promotes neuroplasticity and neurogenesis. Exercise also optimizes neurotransmitter production, dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine, creating ideal neurochemical conditions for learning and mood. You're triggering the most potent brain-building process available. Studies show regular aerobic exercise increases hippocampal volume by 2% and improves memory by 20%. Movement literally grows your brain. Start the morning movement protocol and watch cognitive function, mood, and memory improve as exercise triggers maximum neuroplastic changes. Part 8. The digital detox neural reset. Your brain never experiences extended periods without external stimulation. Constant input prevents the default mode network processing. That's essential for memory consolidation, creativity, and self-reflection. Neuroscientist Marcus Rachel's research on the default mode network reveals that this brain system activates during rest and handles critical functions, integrating experiences, consolidating memories, and generating insights. Constant digital stimulation suppresses default mode activation. This is technique number 8 out of 10, the digital detox neural reset. Create a daily 60-minute technology-free window. No phone, computer, TV, or any screens. Engage in analog activities, walking, reading physical books, conversation, or simply sitting. Schedule this window at the same time daily. Evening works well. Protect this time absolutely for 70 consecutive days. Extended periods without digital input allow your default mode network to activate fully and complete essential processing. Your brain integrates the day's experiences, consolidates learning into long-term memory, and generates creative insights. You're giving your brain the processing time that constant stimulation prevents. Studies on medium multitasking show chronic digital stimulation degrades memory and attention. Regular digital breaks allow neural recovery. Start implementing a daily tech-free hour and watch creativity and memory improve as your brain completes essential background processing. Part 9. The sleep hygiene neural maintenance. Sacrifice sleep for productivity. Sleep isn't downtime, it's when your brain performs critical maintenance that determines next day cognitive function and long-term brain health. Neuroscientist Matthew Walker's research proves that Sleep enables glymphatic system activation, your brain's waste removal system that clears toxins, including amyloid beta linked to Alzheimer's. Sleep also consolidates memories and facilitates learning. Chronic sleep deprivation causes measurable cognitive decline. This is technique number 9 out of 10. The sleep hygiene neural maintenance. Establish a strict 7 to 8 hour sleep schedule with fixed bedtime and wake time, no weekend variations. Make your bedroom completely dark, cool 65 to 68 F, and silent. No screens for 60 minutes before bed. No caffeine after the PM. Sleep on this schedule for 100 consecutive nights. Consistent sleep timing synchronizes circadian rhythms. Adequate duration allows completion of all sleep stages, each serving different brain maintenance functions. Optimal conditions maximize restorative sleep quality. You're providing your brain the maintenance window it requires for optimal function and long-term health. Studies show that 1 night of sleep deprivation reduces cognitive performance by 40%. Consistent quality sleep is foundational for all brain function. Start prioritizing sleep consistency and quality and watch cognitive performance improve as your brain completes nightly maintenance properly. Part 10. The mindful attention training. You live on autopilot. Your attention scatters across past regrets and future anxieties. Present moment awareness training is the most direct method for reshaping default brain activity patterns. Neuroscientist Sarah Lazar's research using MRI shows that 8 weeks of mindfulness meditation creates measurable increases in gray matter density in the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex. Attention training literally changes brain structure. This is technique number 10 out of 10. The mindful attention training. Every day, practice 10 minutes of focused attention meditation. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and place complete attention on your breath. When your mind wanders, it will gently return focus to breathing. Don't judge the wandering, just notice and redirect. Use a timer. Practice at the same time daily for 56 consecutive days. Repeated attention training strengthens your prefrontal cortex, the brain region controlling executive function and attention. Each time you notice distraction and redirect attention, you're performing a mental repetition that builds neural pathways. You're training voluntary attention control through systematic practice. Studies show mindfulness practitioners have thicker cortex in attention-related regions and demonstrate better emotional regulation. Attention training physically reshapes your brain. Start daily mindfulness practice and watch attention span and emotional control improve as your brain structurally adapts to voluntary focus. Training. Closing these 10 habits aren't isolated practices, they're an integrated neuroplasticity system that comprehensively reshapes your brain's structure and function. You're not just changing behaviors, you're rewiring neural architecture. Morning light exposure protocol synchronizes circadian systems. Bilateral brain activation exercise integrates hemispheres. Gratitude neural rewiring practice shifts emotional baseline. Microlearning neurogenesis trigger generates new neurons. Breath control vagal toning optimizes autonomic balance. Social connection neurochemical boost provides essential bonding chemicals. Movement cognition integration maximizes BDNF production. Digital detox neural reset enables default mode processing. Sleep hygiene neural maintenance allows glymphatic cleaning. Mindful attention training strengthens executive control. Ancient wisdom traditions accidentally discovered these practices. Morning rituals for circadian alignment. Contemplative prayer for attention training. Community gathering for social connection. They understood empirically what neuroscience now explains mechanistically. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on your daily inputs and activities. The question isn't whether you're reshaping your brain, you are. The question is whether you're building the brain you want, or defaulting to whatever your random habits create. Your transformation doesn't start tomorrow or next week. It starts the moment you step outside for morning light. It starts tonight when you write your first gratitude entry. It starts when you set your timer for your first attention training session. The version of you with optimal brain function, sharp memory, stable mood, sustained focus. Emotional resilience emerges through accumulated daily neuroplastic changes. From these evidence-based habits, your future self is waiting with a brain you deliberately built, not one that happened by accident.